right, Jen St. Dennis is with us from Business in Vancouver. Good morning, Jen. We're going to talk about the markets in just a second. Yep. But first, let's talk about this huge deal involving a company in Newfoundland.
Yeah, that's right. Fortis, I wanted to say Fortis BC because they do have a really big presence in BC, but they're actually not a BC company. They're headquartered, as you said, in Newfoundland. And they have made this really big deal to buy this American company. They've paid $11.3 billion US to acquire ITC Holdings. Now, this is a company that has electric transmission lines all throughout the United States, a very large company, very big into that business. Fortis saying that this is part of their strategy to expand and grow and diversify their business. They're, of course, in a bunch of different things, including natural gas, electricity. They operate a bunch of the dams that are in the Kootenays in BC, for instance. So, and they have a pretty big presence actually across Canada.
Interesting. So
yeah.
We'll see how that deal sort of shakes out. It looks like it's good news for at least a Canadian company buying an American company finally, not the other way around.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, let's talk about these markets. We mentioned, showed some of the North American markets now opening up down, but Asia was a big trouble this morning. Yeah,
that's right. Now, we saw this volatility start yesterday in the markets. It's continuing today. So we saw Japan leading the slide with a 5% decrease. We're seeing similar things in Europe, not quite as dramatic, but things are down. And so we're expecting a volatile day on the North American markets as well. Now, what's led into this is, of course, worries about oil, general worries about the global economy. Yesterday, a meeting between Saudi Arabia and Venezuela did not lead to any indication that there would be any kind of production output, meaning that supply glut will continue. Today we're seeing especially a sell-off in banking stocks, and so that is a little bit of a concern. I think too early to say, is this a repeat of the financial crisis of 2008? But the fact that banks are kind of being hit this time around is of concern.
Yeah, and it's funny because we've seen, these factors going on for a couple of months now. We've seen the slowdown, obviously, in Asia. We've also seen what's happening as far as oil prices are concerned, and it just keeps continuing to get worse and worse. And now there's rumors that there may be some move with the Feds trying to change interest rates as well. So, I mean, are we talking maybe stimulus down the road to try and get the economy back sort of on an equal footing?
Yeah, well, we'll have to see. I mean, certainly there's talk of that in Europe for sure, because Europe's economy is still fairly sluggish. So we'll really have to see. I mean, yeah, it doesn't really seem like there's an end to this volatility. I think it really does. There are other factors, but it really does come back to that price of oil that no one really expected. A few years ago that it would be dipping to this low and staying there at that $29 a barrel for this low, and with that supply glut, there's not really any kind of way out of that anytime soon. So that is really, I think, at the heart of this. And then there's other factors as well, like just general slowness in the global economy.
All right, well, we'll monitor that as we always do.
Okay,
Jen, thank you very much. Jen St. Dennis from Business in Vancouver.